Greetings, John, your brother in Christ Jesus, continuing in the Lord. We will spend time with the Lord today as we ought to. We will hear of the Lord because it is good, because that's why we're here, to learn of him. And as we fulfill our purpose in God, then we increase in joy and understanding of the world and ourselves. We're delivered every day more and more from confusion. We enter in more and more into light. And so we're grateful, we're joyful as we experience this life, this different life of living instead of dying. Most people are dying and managing the speed of that death and descent into hell just to slow it down, just downhill, pumping the brakes and not really going anywhere, just very worried and concerned about how fast that they're falling into the unknown. And it doesn't have to remain unknown. You can know what that is. You can know where we're going. You can know where they're going. You can know the lay of the land, the native, the person that lives in that place. They can show you around. They know where things are. If you go here, if you go there, that road leads to that. That road leads to that. That's our life with wisdom. God can tell us what everything we do would lead to. He tells us the future of things. Oh, so that would lead to this consequence, and that would lead to this consequence, and we get to choose wisely. Oh, well, I prefer that. And then we get to do knowing what we're doing and where we're going. The ungodly are not so. They find out, they get hurt, they get confused, they get disappointed, they try something else, rinse and repeat all over again, because there's no good outside of God. There's no good. Many options, but there's no good. Adam lived, how long did he live? 950 years, something like that. 900 and something, almost 1,000 years. Can you conceptualize that? We don't know what that is. Our lives are so short. And we're trying to take medication, and we're trying to lengthen our life, and we're mad at people for giving us COVID. We're mad at people for, I could die at 50 instead of 60. Adam lived over 900 years. Let's see. Genesis, I'm searching in chapter 4. Okay, it's going to be after this, because that's where Cain is. We get some generations there. And you get Seth. All right, maybe chapter 5. 130 years, he begat a son named Seth. The days of Adam after he had begotten Seth were 800 years. And he begat sons and daughters. And all the days that Adam lived were 930 years, and he died 70 years short of 1,000. And we know we're going to reign with Jesus Christ 1,000 years when he comes. He's going to make it to 1,000. He's going to bring us to taste 1,000 years on this earth, and then some, and more. But before he makes it new, we're going to reign with Christ here 1,000 years. 1,000 years. So this is a light affliction. This is a short trial period of proving who we are in this life. If by reason of strength we get to 80 or 90, some make it to 100. And people are so concerned about just being alive, but they're not mindful of what happens afterwards, what comes afterwards. And so we want to be mindful of what God would have us to focus on him, on his instruction, on his voice. And we have to know what sin is. God is saying, hey, look, sin is the problem. Sin caused subtraction from 930 to let's just make it simple, 100. So 830 years. We lost 830 years. And that's not even, because Adam was not even going to die. But that's the first time frame, the length of life of the first man. And we didn't stop sinning. That nature was in us, and it kept declining until now we say, oh, you made it to 100. Wow, good job, that you lived so long. And we're so afraid of losing a year of our life. We're so afraid of living a little bit less, when God says, no, that's not the focus. It is how you live, is what you do in this life. I'll lengthen your life. If you love good days, if you want to see good days and length of life, then focus on me, not on the prescription, not on the nutrition, not on the all the health trends and fads, on being on your treadmill and sitting cross-legged and doing false religion meditation and eating other kinds of pills and going to the ends of the world to find some ingredient in some Chinese medicine places. I was shocked and surprised and a little upset by what I saw. I was a child, I don't know where it was. So I think somewhere in Los Angeles, maybe in Chinatown, on the second floor of this building. We entered this, I guess it's their version of the pharmacy, and they just had cabinets. The other time I saw something like that was in Boston, this tea store, and they just have these, it's almost like a long time ago in the libraries, they had these little drawers where they keep the cards, library cards, but they had tea in there in Boston, in this tea shop. And in this medicine place, they had larger drawers, and it was all filled with whatever you're going to ask for. And some of it was things we already know and are familiar with, like green tea. They're going to have green tea. Oh, that's good for you. That's good for this and that. Or they might have some kind of roots, like ginger or ginseng. So those are familiar. We know that. And then they had also this glass case and display where they just had more stuff. And I was looking at it, and I was like, oh, that's a seahorse. You guys sell seahorses here? You guys dry up the seahorses? And then what's this? What's this over here? Oh, those are deer antlers. Oh, you guys sell that? You grind that up into powder and you sell that? And what else? This is crazy. This is wild. And I was suspicious. I was like, hey, wait. I think, because it's very likely, oh, a seahorse. Why a seahorse? What does it do? Maybe it does do something, but you can probably guess it. You have a suspicion. Well, it's because it looks like how it looks like. It probably gives people an idea of, exoticism, of wow, just because it looks so fancy, it could probably do something fancy for me. And it was pretty big. It was not a giant room, but just because the room was filled and stacked up to the ceiling with all these cabinets and this glass display. Maybe in other stores they would have other things, valuable things like jewelry or cameras, but here they had just in some plastic bags, seahorses, deer antlers, and whatever else was all the way down the line, just other kinds of powders and things that were broken up. And I sensed this is probably a sham. But they don't have to. They don't have any salespeople there. They don't have people that are saying, "Yo, so let me sell this to you. Let me convince you that this is good for you." No, people are coming themselves, and it sells itself. They want it so bad enough that they don't have to sell the idea to you. They just look at it and say, "Oh, I want that. Oh, I heard this is good. Oh, my grandmother always took that. Oh," and they just have to make a claim. It's good for this, and that's enough. That's enough. That's how idolatrous we are of what we want to get, what we want to extract out of this life, what we're trying to get some goodness. We're trying to squeeze lemons and oranges. You're trying to get the juice, but it's dry. You're trying to get life out of this life. And God already said, hey, no, it's through me. Where are you looking? Where are you going? Not just China, but all the countries. We have idols. We've for a long time, and it's still there in many countries. They have altars and things that they've crafted that they want to bow down to, talk to, uh, and interact with as if it's God. And God specifically said, don't do that, don't do that, don't do it. It's wickedness, it's evil, it's an abomination to God. It makes him angry. It brings destruction and curses, because there is a God, there is a living God, and we'd rather choose this. Why? Because we want to do what we want to do. We don't really want God to tell us, don't talk to me. That's why we like this idol. We like carving this thing out of wood, because it doesn't talk, And we like to control, even if we're frustrated, like, why don't you talk? Why don't you tell me? We're the ones that made this God that doesn't talk. And we play with that like little children playing house, little children playing with plastic vegetables. We have a plastic God, and we like playing with our own imagination. Oh, pray to it. Yes, and I hope this will happen, and then get mad at it. Why didn't you make it happen? And yet there's a real God, but they don't like the real God, because the real God would say, hey, you're responsible. He would hold you accountable, because he would give you assignments. He would tell you instruction. He would tell you what's good. You want that? You can have that. Do this. You want goodness? You want life? You want long days? You can have all of that. Just do this. Oh, no. And that tears against our soul. Don't tell me what to do. I don't want to do that. I don't want to give up this. I don't want to. Just be quiet. Just be quiet. I have an idea of how I want to live my life. And I'll serve you, God, as long as I can do all that I want to do. And their lives play out. The manifestation of an absence of God, the demonstration of a life with no God. And yet they have altars, they have things on their shelves, they have things they worship, they have things they love, they have passions, and yet they die miserably. And they're miserable on the way to that death. Meanwhile, God makes a difference, a contrast. He has Christians who love God, the living God, who pray to the living God, who hear from God, who receive instruction from God, who deny themselves, say no to themselves, and do what God tells them to do. And they have joy in their hearts. They have joy as on their way to a joyful end, a prosperous end, and they die and they enter into eternal joy. So that's available, and yet people do not want it, because they don't want to go that way, that path of, it's frightening to them. It's odious. It's loathsome. No, to myself. No, I heard enough no's. When I was a child, my parents said no, and now I'm an adult, and now I'm smart, and now I'm capable. No one will ever tell me no. We have the insecurities. We've suffered rejection. We've gone through things, and we've hardened our hearts to try to survive in this world, to try to feel like we're something, feel like we're loved, to try to. We're soothing ourselves, we're appeasing ourselves, and God's saying, you don't have to do that. That's fake, what you're trying to do. That's a band-aid on the cuts that you keep getting. You have a deep problem. You have a mind that gets you into trouble. You have a mind that wants to sin and do bad things to get good things, even though it'll ultimately be bad because you did it a bad way, so there's a bad end, and your mind just can't. It just can't. Because it's distracted by the little good that's in there. Little good. Hey, man is astounding. Sometimes we talk about purity, right? You can't have a little rat poison in water. That'd make it dirty. But man, we're so idolatrous and covetous and greedy. We fall for things much worse for much less. You can have the whole thing be poison, right? Just a simple analogy, maybe energy drinks. People die. People have died by it. Why? Cigarettes. People have died by it. Why? I mean, that's the reverse. That's 99% poison, and just 1% of what is that? Why would you put the poison in you? Why? It's labeled with all these warnings. Hey, this is not good for you. Hey, don't consume too much of this. Hey, have it in moderation because this is what it is. And we still drink it. We still drink it. We still smoke it. Why? Because of the 1% of pleasure. So just we chase that. We chase it. We chase that. Even the drug addicts, they have a phrase, they call it chasing the dragon. Oh yeah, I just want it, just give it to me just that little bit. And that's how the drugs work. You get the super high, euphoria, and you do it again, and it's not as much. You do it again, and it's not as much. You do it again, and it's a little less. And you need more to try to get there, and it just will never get there. It's just 50% of that first experience. Maybe if I just sniff more, snort more, smoke more, yeah, it went from 50 to 60 now. It's getting there. Just smoke more, just snort more, just inject more. Now it's 60 to 70%. Almost there, just smoke more, just snort more, just inject more. And it's 75% frustration. It's not getting there. It's kind of, but it's not. It just won't. It just won't. You'll be dry, a dry tree. You won't have that satisfaction. It won't hit it. Yeah, that's another phrase. We say it doesn't hit the spot. There's a spot. There's an itch. There's a lack. There's something. And meanwhile, God is right there in your room. The angels are there looking at you. When will you turn to God? God is available. He's so near. You don't have to buy a plane ticket to see God. You just have to humble yourself. And people find God. People break. They're done. They're tired. They come to themselves. The prodigal son. I give up, God. I give up. I'm done. Okay, God. Okay. All right, God. You can have my life. You can have it. It's not working. I tried everything but you. I tried to go to Tarshish. I tried to swim faster than the whale. I tried to hold my breath in the stinky belly whale. I tried to get some oxygen in there. I tried. I can't make it. I can't do this life. I can't find life. There's no life. I can't do it. I tried with all my strength. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. And some people die, exhausted and miserable. And some people, they turn to God. It comes to mind. Oh, my grandma said, yes, this God that I've been rejecting, refusing in your heart and your mind and your actions, in your everyday life. No, I still have plans. I can still having two masters, going to church, and yet, no, I can still have this. I can still pursue this. And until you give up, until you say, God, you're right. God, until you acknowledge your faults, until you acknowledge you cannot, and actually put it in God's hands. God, okay, God, you win. Have my life. My life is in your hands. I put it in your hands. And then we're saved. Then we see a different outcome, a different life, a different day as we yield to God. Say, God, you can tell me things now. I'm open. I will listen. I have ears now. I want to do what's your idea, God? I know you had ideas that were different than the ideas that I had, and that's what I hated. But now I hate myself. Now I hate my own ideas. I abhor myself. You're right, God. I wasn't there when you created the heavens and the foundations of the earth, when you put a circle around it, when you set uh, the limits of the ocean, and when you said, "Oh, you shall rise no more." When you did all these things, when you made all the stars and named them all, I wasn't there. I wasn't there. When you made all these creatures with their feathers and their different colors and their different behaviors and their beaks and their wings and all the amazing variation and creation of all your creation, I wasn't there. I don't know anything. What do I know? God, do what you want to do in my life. And you let God speak into your life, into your will, and you yield that will to God so that you no longer live self-willed, but by the will of God, desiring yourself now to live in the will of God, to do the will of God. You consider that your meat. Oh, then you're going to be strong. Then you're going to get strength. Then you're going to wake up with joy. Then you're going to have a passion that's not vain, that doesn't lead to your own hurt. You're going to be able to prosper and be healed and be whole and help others and find joy and purpose, and you'll be in it. You'll be in the flow of God. You won't be having to trying to get in the flow of something vain, in some vain skill and vain hobby that God calls your vain life, that leads to nothing and misery. No, you can be delivered from that cycle of, poverty is not only in terms of money. There's a poverty of the word of God, of obedience. There's a poverty of joy. There's a poverty of right thinking and wisdom. There's many forms and much lack that men experience in this life as we live with lack. And that's the psalm that people love, that it resonates. Oh, you shall not. No, you shall not lack. Yeah, you've experienced that your whole life. You were afraid of it. You were frustrated by it. You hated it. And you were tormented by it. It hurt you. No, but now, with the shepherd, if you follow with him, in him, he will make sure that you have no lack. And you're tired, aren't you? Because you were trying to hold it up. You're trying to be the pillar, and the roof was too strong for you. You couldn't hold up your house. You couldn't hold up. You were being crushed by the weight of your own life. But you have someone that comes and holds it up for you, that can bear the burden for you, that can give you answers, that can give you wisdom of knowing what to do, when to do it, and fulfill you and give you joy. And you'll be on the up. You'll be going higher with God. You don't have to stoop and bend down and settle and go lower and harden yourself and just endure and just bear and get nothing, no goodness. Solomon talks about that in Ecclesiastes. There are people who live long, and they're forgotten. Their name's forgotten. They have no joy. That's vain. That's miserable. That's terrible. They live long, and no one buries them. No one remembers them. His name's forgotten. Man, that's so bad. That's so bad. Solomon mentions that. You can live long. You got it. You did it. And yet, you're so, wow, you're the most bitter person on earth. And yet you lived the longest. You figured it out. You drank all the smoothies. And yet, it didn't hit something. It didn't hit that spot. You built up all this. And yet, you seem to have missed the point, missed the mark. You missed something critical. Look at this, chapter 36. This is Elihu speaking. Suffer me a little, and I will show you that I have yet to speak on God's behalf. I will fetch my knowledge from afar and will ascribe righteousness to my Maker. For truly my words shall not be false. He that is perfect in knowledge is with you. Behold, God is mighty and despises not any. He is mighty in strength and wisdom. He preserves not the life of the wicked, but gives right to the poor. He withdraws not his eyes from the righteous, but with kings are they on the throne. Yea, he does establish them forever, and they are exalted. And if they be found in fetters and be holden in cords of affliction, then he shows them their work and their transgressions that they have exceeded. He opens also their ear to discipline and commands that they return from iniquity. If they obey and serve him, they shall spend their days in prosperity and their years in pleasures. But if they obey not, they shall perish by the sword, and they shall die without knowledge. But the hypocrites in heart heap up wrath. They cry not when he binds them. They die in youth, and their life is among the unclean. He delivers the poor in his affliction, and opens their ears in oppression. Even so would he have removed you out of the strait into a broad place where there is no straightness, and that which should be set on your table should be full of fatness. But you have fulfilled the judgment of the wicked. Judgment and justice take hold on you, because there is wrath. Beware, lest he take you away with his stroke. Then a great ransom cannot deliver you. Will he esteem your riches? No, not gold, nor all the forces of strength. Desire not the night, when people are cut off in their place. Take heed, regard not iniquity. For this have you chosen rather than affliction. Behold, God exalts by his power. Who teaches like him? Who has enjoined him his way, or who can say, you have wrought iniquity? Remember that you magnify his work which men behold. Every man may see it, man may behold it afar off. Behold, God is great, and we know him not, neither can the number of his years be searched out. For he makes small the drops of water, they pour down rain according to the vapor thereof, which the clouds do drop and distill upon man abundantly. Also can any understand the spreadings of the clouds, or the noise of his tabernacle? Behold, he spreads his light upon it, and covers the bottom of the sea. For by them judges he the people. He gives meat in abundance. With clouds he covers the light, and commands it not to shine by the cloud that comes betwixt. The noise thereof shows concerning it, the cattle also concerning the vapor. At this also my heart trembles and is moved out of his place. Hear attentively the noise of his voice, and the sound that goes out of his mouth. So yeah, all creation. And look at, obey and serve him, or obey not. In the midst of all these clouds and the vapors that rise and the waters that fall and the abundance and meat, who's going to get this? Who's going to be clothed by God? Who's going to be filled by God inside and out? Do you obey or do you not obey? And yet you're chasing these mixtures and these powders and these things and capsules and pills and bottles and oils and packages and packaging and your stores and grocery stores and big stores and online stores. And where is it? You're searching in all the wrong places. Right here. It's right in your mouth. It's right in your heart, through humility and submission to God, to hearing God. Hear God, listen, he's speaking. And the only reason why you don't hear is because you're not listening. The hypocrites in heart heap up wrath. They cry not. They cry not when he binds them. And yet God gives a simple principle, instruction for us, that we could know, hey, in the day of adversity, consider, hey, you're bound in fetters, you have cords of affliction. God will show you. He's going to show you what led up to that, your transgression, and where you've exceeded, what the excess is, where you're wrong, where the transgression is, where the law is, where you are, what you've done. He'll give you understanding so that you can be delivered from the mindset, from your ways. He'd show you. And yet, no matter how much he binds you, no matter the consequences, you've hardened yourself so well. You think you've done so well for yourself. That's what the world thinks is the way to go. So in Christ, in Jesus Christ, as a Christian, we're supposed to be unoffendable. There's a way to be unoffendable. And the world would like to be unoffendable, but they don't know how. They don't know how. They don't know how. It's like real strength, like someone who actually works out, someone who actually um, disciplines themselves in what they eat, and they can be buff and strong, and they can move rocks, and they can be very capable. Um, and someone who has a virtual strength, they might be all skin and bones, sitting in front of the computer, and they feel like they're strong because they can hack things, they can program things, they can go inside of a large machine and feel like, oh, I'm in this robot. But you see the guy come out and say, oh, well, you're actually a weakling. You're not actually strong yourself. We harden ourselves. We harden ourselves, and we're actually very weak and rotten inside. And we just, that's our solution. That's our solution. Just enduring with no victory, enduring loss, just getting thick skin and getting cut, and hardening yourself and getting hit instead of knowing, yeah, being strong in wisdom and knowing where to be so that you don't position yourself to be under fire, to live a life that attracts all the curses and the hitting and the destruction and the devouring. But there's no other way except a relationship with God, except submission to God, hearing and obeying. That's the only way you'll learn anything. He's going to speak, and you need to hear. Humble can hear. And then you need more humility to obey what he says. You need more humility to consistently do what he says, to repetitively do what he says, to do it again, and to maintain it, to keep doing it, and to keep your soul under subjection, to be a disciplined one, disciplined unto God, for God. Then he'll make you strong. He'll make you, he'll craft you, he'll shape you. And it'll be glorious, it'll be godly, you'll be holy, because following God's instruction makes man like that. By ourselves, we go into all kinds of mimicry and superficial, artificial imitation. So we try to look the part, we try to look glorious, and we put on all this shell, all this armor, and it rots inside. It's like the bag of fruits that we buy, and there is rotten. You thought you looked into it, but the bag's colored and it's full of netting, and you can't really see clearly. And you take it home and you open it, and it's a rotten fruit. There's one rotten, and it makes the others rotten. And yet God would teach us. God's so near. He's so loving. He's so available. He's speaking, and he's even through the pain, he's trying to get our attention. Hey, let up. Hey, listen. Hey, I'm here. Hey, what you did led to this. What you did led to that. What you did is hurting you. And the hypocrites, they do things that hurt themselves. And when they get hurt, they don't cry. They don't cry. They heap up wrath. They cry not when God binds them. He shows them, hey, look, you got this consequence from that. And we just pretend instead of hearkening and listening. What did I do wrong? No, that's not the life anymore. No, now it's you do wrong and I'm never wrong. I won't even consider if I was wrong or right. No, I just do what I do and get hurt, and that didn't hurt. That didn't hurt. No, I'm not in pain. I'm not. Everything's fine. Yeah, so I talk to people, friends and family, and men on earth, and that's very common. It's very common. Because without God, you can't acknowledge, you can't be vulnerable, you can't acknowledge the truth. You have to foment, you have to foam out the mouth lies. You have to. Your brain can't handle it. You can't handle the understanding. You can't admit I'm foolish and I'm continuing to do what fools do, and I'm bad and I do bad things. No, they do what's bad. They won't acknowledge it as bad. They won't turn to the judge that discerns and judges for them. There's bad and good. No, no, we shut that out. We turn off the radio. We turn down the volume. There's no good and bad, and you feel bad, and yet no, you can't acknowledge that. No, because you double down. You're too far. You're in this. Live it out. Your nonsensical philosophy on life. Your broken way approach to life. No, there's no good and bad. You don't know. You don't know where that pain is coming from, why it's there, where it came from. Yeah, and talk to them. How are you doing? I'm doing fine. Excellent. Things are great. I don't have any bad days. Yes. What's wrong? Nothing's wrong. Nothing's wrong. This is all I needed. That's all I needed. You need that and that too. Didn't you forget that pill too? Yes, thank you for reminding me. I also need this. And what were you saying? Life is it always happens. Life is great. Life is great. Nothing's wrong. I'm pumped up. Stay pumped up. Get pumped up, everybody. Yeah, they try to motivate each other. Just fight through the pain. And they don't want God. Jesus came. He said, okay, so I can heal you. I can heal you of that pain. I can heal you. And yet even then, they had more decisions to make. You can be temporarily healed and go back to yourself and your own life and return to getting a fresh new wound. Or you can worship God. He offered you that. He gave you a word. He gave you some truth. He gave you healing. And you're supposed to acknowledge the source of that. Oh, this wise God, this mighty God, this creator, my Father in heaven. Yes, I was wrong. You're right. Thank you. I want more of you. I want more of this. I want more of goodness. I'm tired of lying to myself and being lied to and living a lie and pretending it's not and confusing myself. We know we're confused. You know when you stop talking. When people reason with you or you reason in your own head and you come to this revealing question or this point and you have to acknowledge, wait, why do I do this and do that? But I believe this and then you stop talking. Abort the process. No, because that would reveal the lie. No, I'm trying to pretend that I live in the truth. I'm trying to pretend that I know the truth. And you, at a certain point, you can't keep continuing rational dialogue. At a certain point, you have to stop. The police say, oh, you don't have to incriminate yourself. You can stop talking. These are your rights. Whenever you want. You probably shouldn't talk because you're going to contradict yourself and you're going to, no, officer, I was over there and then I did that and then, but where were you at this time? Weren't you? Oh, okay, I'll exercise my right to remain silent. Yeah, you're about to incriminate yourself. You can't hold it up. Your story is not going to come together. Your life, it doesn't come together. Your mind and your beliefs, they're broken. They're not unified. You can't put them together. You got Lego and you got bricks, you got connects, you got wooden blocks. You can't build. All different kinds of systems and ends, and they don't match. They don't snap. You don't have understanding, and yet God would bring it all together for you in your heart, in your mind, in freedom, in joy, in love. You'll understand, and you'll be free. You'll be free from all that aggravation and the desire to control it, yet not having it, and the confusion of why I have muscles, I have energy, I have strength, I can touch my world, I can manipulate it, I can do things, I can shift things, I can press buttons, I can press levers, but how come things just keep breaking? How come I can't make things work? Like, I can work, but I just can't make things work out. You can be delivered from that confusion, from that life. You can have a life that works. You can have a heart that works. You can have muscles. You can have cells. You can have brain and eyes that work. Your soul that works. Because God made you and you're breaking it. God gave you your life and you're breaking it. Because you don't want the instruction, further instruction. No, he could tell you how to live, how to think, how to be, and that would be the right thing, the right way. You'd have understanding. That'd be correct. That'd be the answer. Jesus is the answer. And so if you're confused about why you're confused, you heard it today. Jesus is the answer. You won't find it anywhere else. Nothing else will work. Nothing else you try. Nowhere else you go. It's not going to answer that big question mark that you live with in your heart, on your road, in your car, and all the problems that you scratch your head over, not wondering why this keeps happening. You don't have to have that to keep happening. You can have life keep happening, joy keep happening, mercy keep happening, growth keep happening, development process. You could go through the process of time and prosper and not see destruction and failure. You can be hopeful. You can anticipate every day good things, the next good thing, because you obey God. You do what is good, and you know it's good because you get it from God. You can be connected to a good source. That umbilical cord, when it cuts spiritually, no, that's not cut. You're still attached to something. The things of this world, you have to be attached to God. You have to be attached to God. You need to continue to receive from God, life from God. You can't disconnect. You can't be independent. You can't live separate. You can't subsist. You can't prosper that way. You'll only go so far. You'll only do so much before you collapse and die. And even again, in Ecclesiastes, there's a verse that's written like that. The silver cord be cut, loosed. You're done. Done. Life is over. Did you get it? Or did you miss it? Did you know that, this life, David, when he died, he said, I go the way of all the earth. All the earth. All the earth goes there. All the flowers, they blossom and they die. The grass, it grows and it dies. Man, we are made from dust and we go back to dust. And David said, I go back to the way of all the earth. So what's life then? It's just vain. We just temporarily do this and that and try for so much and then die? That's what Solomon said. Yeah. Have your portion. Enjoy your portion. But no, the godly, no. We remember Job. He said, if my words were written in a book and God honors that. He said, no. You won't just live and die and be forgotten. No, for you, for my sons. No, you'll have a record. You'll have a testimony. You'll have a legend. You'll be legendary. You will leave a legacy. You will be read about. You will be talked about. You will have a testimony that will give people hope and light because you lived by God. You had God in your life. You lived by Him. So you will be a point of reference, a lighthouse for people to see and to point to, saying, look, see, people have run and finished the race. This is possible. We can do it. We can live a life, a godly life, and succeed and prosper and see good days. It's possible to obey God. It's possible to be successful in life. Success is in God. Life, you're going to be excited about life. You're going to want to write out that story. Your life becomes a story. It's not just to rise and fall and become dust. No, it's a testimony, a story. Yeah, and we know ultimately it's already written. You're going to fulfill what God has written, but you get to live with that sense of excitement, full of purpose, full of joy, knowing, we're going to demonstrate, we're going to manifest God and the manifest wisdom and the beauty and the glory of God. What's going to look for your life by your name in your generation. Oh yeah, what's this flower and this flower and this flower in this garden? You get to be that part of what God celebrates and boasts about. Have you seen Job? Take a look at this. Smell this. Smell that. You could be that in Jesus' name.